Toronto's population is expected to grow by 1.3 million people over the next 3 years, adding about 400 plus thousand people to our city each year. Currently, we have about 80,000 properties under construction, with an average of 30,000 being added per year. This obviously creates a huge delta in the amount of living spaces that we're going to have available for the expected growth of our population. And if you're in real estate and you're an investor, you don't necessarily want this to change. I don't really want the government to add tons of new housing to our inventory, because at the end of the day, it's a supply and demand issue. If you're going to increase housing by 400,000 people a year and build 30,000 homes, this is a good situation to be in as a Toronto investor, because the types of talent we're attracting are very, they're high income earning individuals who are being allowed to immigrate to Canada on a point system, because there are skilled labor workers that our country needs. These are educated, well-earning Canadians that are going to be looking for housing, and whether it's rental or to buy, we don't have enough supply in the pipeline to address those concerns. And there is a lot of talk about the government trying to address that, but I don't see that actually working out with the amount of red tape it takes to build in this city. Good luck trying to get the entire government to coordinate efforts to eliminate all of that. I would love to see it. That's zero chance, in my opinion, of happening. So I think that we're going to have a glut and a shortage, and Google has rented 400,000 square feet in Toronto. Twitter has rented 3,400 square feet. Meta is building an engineering hub, adding 2,500 new jobs. Netflix is supposed to be arriving. Reddit is applying here. IBM is. DoorDash is. Snapchat is. So I think when you factor in the types of businesses that are setting up operations and buying commercial space in the city, or renting commercial space in the city for the long haul, and you look at our population growth, you look at the finite amount of land there is to build here, and you add all those things up together, and we know that there is precedent also been set at higher price points in Toronto, and that we're confident that it will exceed the precedent that has been set, with prices having achieved a certain level already. A lot of concerns around stability. I'm a big advocate for the stress test. I believe that with what the Bank of Canada has done right now, we are in a strong place because the stress test exists. Had it not existed, I don't necessarily know that we as a country could have handled having that many individuals buy over the last 3 years at a 2.5% interest rate, and now have their payments potentially doubling with the current rates, and having them not be able to be prepared for that could have had huge adverse effects on our market. So I personally am a big advocate for that stress test. I wouldn't have personally thought that the rates would have risen this quickly and aggressively, but because they have, I think that it's very necessary to keep it in place to avoid catastrophe, because at the end of the day, your neighbor affects your resale value. And if you have a whole bunch of people in your neighborhood who have dropped their home prices because they couldn't afford them anymore, that would be a horrible place to be in, because everyone's equity would drop. We would be in a very unstable and unsecure market. And one of the reasons that we hear that Canada's market has been so buoyant over the last 2 decades is because we have a very, 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 very conservative lending system here. And I personally believe in that sort of conservative approach to lending, because we really all affect each other. It's like riding in the same boat with everybody and having a whole bunch of people who don't know how to swim, and there's a giant wave coming. So I'm a big fan of the stress test, and I think that has given a lot of stability in our market, and will continue to do so as long as we keep it active. So for all of these reasons, we still believe Toronto is a great place to invest in real estate.